Having seen a replay at half-time, it is very tight. Hansen might have been fractionally offside. It's one of them where Manchester United fans will feel like it should have gone to VAR, which isn't in existence in the FA WSL yet. Chelsea fans breathing a big sigh of relief. Kristen Press leading the line in your picture at the moment, rubbing those hands because it is obviously a little bit colder than when we first started. There was bright sunshine at kickoff. Maybe she will have a substitute pair of gloves provided in the second half. Emma Hayes has got gloves but has taken them off, has had a scarf but has taken that off. Swirling conditions, but it's almost autumnal, and we've had a good spectacle in this first half. Sam Kerr's missed 3 good chances for Chelsea as well. It doesn't appear that there's been any changes at half-time. So underway for the second half. Tobin Heath on the bench for Manchester United, but she didn't oddly warm up with the side, which might mean she's just making up the numbers in case of an absolute emergency. We wait and see. One thing's for sure, if it stays at 1-0 to Chelsea and Heath is fit, she should surely be one of the first names to be introduced. So we'll learn very quickly as to whether or not Heath is down simply by name, or if she is in fact able to play. Lots of speculation because she was named in a Manchester United graphic on the bench, but then she was not on the official team sheet. Manchester United then said that was a mistake. So we wait and see. If Heath is not the attacking player to be introduced, there's the very talented Lauren James as well. And Chelsea, of course, with an array of talent on their bench too. Particularly Bethany England, who, along with Magdalena Eriksson, was presented with a trophy to mark 100 appearances for Chelsea before the match. So Ben Jacobs with you. Full match commentary here at Kingsmeadow, available on FA Player. Remember earlier, Manchester City moving to 4th place, as there we see Heath. First time confirmation, therefore, that she is part of the side in terms of actively warming up and available. And again, that may sound an odd thing to say, but a lot of confusion pre-match when she did not warm up with her teammates. And we didn't see her in the first half either. But based on that shot, she is available for selection. Let's see whether she's introduced if the scoreline stays as is. But as I said a moment ago, Beth England and Magdalena Eriksson getting that accolade, 100 appearances, and England being kept out of the starting 11 by an informed Kirby and Kerr. Both of those players preferred in the starting lineup for the home side, as they were in a 5-0 victory against Reading away from home last time out. No surprise, really, from Kirby's perspective, because she scored 4 goals against her former club in that game. Chelsea and Manchester United, the top 2. Arsenal 3rd, drawing 1-1 at the moment. Away at Reading. And Manchester City thrashing Aston Villa 7-0 in the early kickoff. That game was 6-0 at half-time. Kirsty Smith to take the free kick down the line, picked up by Galton. That wasn't the strongest of clearances by Bright. Galton, though, crossing into no woman's land. Red shirts were lacking in the box. And Katrin Berger, as she was in the first half, in absolutely no rush. She finds Harder. G. Earps on the ball, who made a couple of decent saves in the first half, particularly one hit centrally from just inside the box by Kerr. Stood tall and made the block. Kerr, though, will be really disappointed. She's put 2 wide of the target from close range, and one where she created space brilliantly. She did hit firmly with plenty of intent on target, but just one of them where, had she just got her angles a little bit wider, She could have guided it with far less power into the corner, and Earps wouldn't have stood a chance because she was grounded. It was hit centrally, though, after excellent build-up play and pace by Kerr, and Earps made the save. So Pernilla Harder's goal is the difference between the two sides. Harder's also had a long-range effort from the edge of the area, which was almost spilled by Earps, but she gathered the ball at the second time of asking. Harder brings that down on her shoulder and just guides it into the path of Kerr. The elder, incidentally, to end that failed attack, which results in a Chelsea throw-in with a rare venture forward. She does love to get on the overlap, but we really haven't seen too much of her. She scored 2 goals against Manchester United, and Mjelde on the ball at the moment now, and that is a dangerous cross, which needs dealing with by Millie Turner. 2 Turners in the back line for Manchester United, Amy Turner and Millie Turner. Amy Turner almost able to prevent the goal. She cleared a ball off the line from Cuthbert's corner. Fran Kirby then hit the post, and then Harder smashed it into the net. But Amy Turner did get a piece of it on the way through. Cuthbert to deliver as Chelsea look to double their lead. It pings around a little bit in the area. Millie Bright, of all people, almost getting the shot away. Harder will spread it to G on the far left-hand side. Bright has stayed up. Leupolz is on the edge of the area too. Curls ball to G, though, was a little bit too strong. And Eriksson is going to have to mop this up under no pressure. Much like for large periods of the first half, Manchester United forced back, even though they do love to press in that final third. And surely it's only a matter of time before, if she is fit, we see Tobin Heath. But here's Press, United's other American. Needs to get further forwards, though. Started that attack in an unthreatening position, but it is worked well to Smith. And now Toon, Galton. Manchester United felt that Galton was caught from behind there by Cuthbert, but play continues. Ella Toon, Grunen possibly trying to dummy that, although there was nobody in front of her. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt rather than putting that down just to a miscontrol. Both of these sides are unbeaten. It finished 1-1 in the season opener the last time they met. And in that game, Chelsea also took the lead in the first half through Sam Kerr, and Leah Galton equalised late on with 11 minutes remaining. So Manchester United will be hoping history can repeat itself and they can protect their unbeaten record. But crucially as well, if Manchester United draw or better, then they will either stay top at 1-1 or extend their lead at the top. Whereas a loss means Chelsea move top on goal difference with the two sides level on points, but Chelsea have a game in hand. Battier to Grunen. Battier continues her run down that right-hand side up against Anderson. Hansen, Ladd is really her only option. Grunen and Toon in the box at the near post. Hansen doing well to muscle up against G there and win her side a corner when it looked like a lost cause. Kirsty Hansen, only 22. Scottish in terms of nationality with 4 caps, although she was born in Halifax, but her mum is Scottish. 3 goals last season, a tally that she has already matched at the halfway stage. Millie Turner is up at the back post. Ladd is there as well. Manchester United looking to strike early in the second half. It didn't reach any red shirts, though. Nobody at the near post for Manchester United. Kirby on the counter-attack is shrugged off the ball by Battier. Ladd goes down in a challenge with Leupolz. And that will be a Manchester United free kick. The official, Rebecca Welsh, in quickly just to make sure that there were no afters there. This might be a sign that Tobin Heath isn't fit, fully fit anyway, because Lauren James is going to be the first Manchester United sub. James, only 19, joined from Arsenal a couple of years ago. An established international, despite still being a teenager. So here comes James, and it's Kristen Press going off, so that will be a like-for-like swap. Press has struggled to get too involved. A couple of opportunities inside the box, but on both occasions she didn't time her run and was ruled offside. James offers a little bit more pace and direction. And it will also give Toon potentially the opportunity to also lead the line, or both of them play up front alongside each other. So there are options for Casey Stoney. James and Toon can be false number 9s or target women. Lauren James with 6 goals in the FA WSL last season. And there's a snapshot that was always fading well wide from Ella Toon. But she should now have licence to play in a slightly more advanced position. Toon, only 21, joined from Manchester City in 2018. She has 13 caps for England. James has 11 caps for England, so 2 of the brightest talents as far as the national team are concerned. James, incidentally, making just her 5th appearance in the FA WSL. Only 1 start and no goals. The arrival of Heath and Press has limited her game time. Frightening young talent, though, who can make all of the difference in these kind of games. Just a reminder, Tobin Heath is on the bench for Manchester United. Almost an hour gone. Pernilla Harder's goal is the difference between the 2 sides here at Kingsmeadow. Mjelde, who scored 2 winners in 2 separate games against Manchester United before, and then Leopold's trying to hit that first time. Just has to shake off a bit of contact after the shot as well. No suggestion, though, that that would have been a free kick. I think in just swinging at the ball, she landed slightly awkwardly. It skies its way behind the goal. Leupolz, who only has one goal in the FA WSL, and that came in the 9-0 rout over Bristol City. Longer the game goes on, the more Emma Hayes is going to have to think whether to stick or twist. Her side don't concede too many goals. 5, in fact, throughout the course of the FA WSL season, so they are always very confident with a lead. But Manchester United are going to have to start taking some risks as Kirsty Smith starts an attack which now finds its way to Lauren James, who interchanges well with Toon. James creates space, curls one into the far right-hand corner. Lauren James with an instant impact. It's her first goal in the FA WSL this season. And the 19-year-old brings Manchester United level in what might prove a vital goal in the context of the title come the end of the season. Manchester United are level, and in the live table, if you like, Manchester United are back on top of the pile, and what a finish that is. Toon and James, she looked up and put it in the one place that Berger simply couldn't get to. That is a wonderful finish. But at the other end, Chelsea looking to strike straight back with Harder. G, nimble-footed, and this is going to take a kind deflection to Kerr. There's no offside either, and Earps has to make another decent save. It was at a good height for her. Kerr will feel she should have done a little bit better again. A vital save by Earps nonetheless. Kerr almost seemed a little bit hesitant on that occasion. It was Ladd that gave the ball away to G. I wonder whether Kerr just thought the ball wasn't coming to her. And naturally you can forgive her to some extent because of the deflection. But when it finally did from that angle, you can see what a good opportunity it was. And for the 4th time in the game, Kerr has squandered the chance to get on the score sheet for Chelsea. Danger not over for Manchester United though. Kerr and Bright at the back post, Harder on the edge of the area. Mielda is up as well. Eriksson too, the captain. G on the edge of the area. Chelsea looking to strike straight back. Kerr will be able to control the free kick inside the area, but Millie Turner was across really well and quickly too. James hoping to keep the ball in play, but she's run that out fractionally. Good decision though by the official, even though Casey Stoney waving her arms. Manchester United's manager did have a very good view of that. Here's the goal again. Excellent interchange on the edge of the area between Toon and James, and that is simply an outstanding finish. Best angle of the lot, that last one. You can see the outstretched arm of Ann-Katrine Berger almost anywhere else, and Chelsea's goalkeeper probably would have got a touch and turned that around the post. It's a wonderful, wonderful finish by the England international. Manchester United back on level terms, 1-1, much like it was in the season opener between the two sides. The only real difference is United equalised late then and staunchly defended. Now there's a full half an hour remaining, assuming that we get a few minutes of added time. And United and Chelsea hungry for a winner in an open game. A point, not a terrible result for either side. It keeps Manchester United 3 clear at the top, and Chelsea, with the superior goal difference, do have a game in hand. Millie Turner let that ball bounce, and it falls to Fran Kirby. As a result, Kirby scores! She is in sensational form. Fran Kirby, clinical when it mattered. Her 5th goal in 2 games, 4 against Reading, but this, the biggest of the lot. Chelsea back ahead, Chelsea back on top for now. Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1, and it's Fran Kirby. Timed her run perfectly. Millie Turner should not have allowed that ball to bounce. Amy Turner then couldn't get across, and Fran Kirby with the diagonal run. Excellent first touch to get the ball out of her feet, and a brilliant finish across the face of the goal from an angle that every time that ball rolled got harder and harder and harder, but Kirby was equal to it. And it's all smiles again for Chelsea. They lead Manchester United by 2 goals to 1. We have seen 2 excellent finishes in the second half. Very different finishes. One curled from distance with a whole heap of the spectacular. The other all about timing, pace and composure. Fran Kirby, thankfully well and truly back from a long time on the sidelines with pericarditis when she questioned her football career, but now full of energy and smiles. Just when it looked like Manchester United was starting to dominate, Chelsea strike at the other end. Kirby again, looking to get to the ball ahead of Smith, and she does so. Laid back now to Cuthbert, who was caught between a cross and a shot and couldn't pick out Kerr. Chelsea about to make a double substitution, just first going through the binder. What page is it that the tactics are on for Sophie Ingle, she's asking. No reaction from Casey Stoney in terms of her bench at the moment after Chelsea took the lead once more. United fans at home will just be screaming for Heath, and again, the longer it goes on and we don't see her, the more likely it is that she must have some kind of knock, which would also explain why Heath didn't start. Not that Stoney can be faulted for her first substitution in bringing on Lauren James, because James had that immediate impact and scored a wonder goal. But it was cancelled out quickly by Fran Kirby. And Kirby is on the move again here down the right-hand side. Not too many options on this occasion. Does really well to pick out Kerr, who could only get her head to it without any real opportunity to bring the ball down, and Ladd up to James for Manchester United. That's a really well-weighted ball. Galton almost able to get to it. Challenge coming in from Mielda. There's been a whistle here. Officials are just clarifying whether it was a clean challenge or an offside, and it looks like it's being given as an offside, which just changes where Chelsea have the ball. Obviously, Ingle is still looking for the page that has her tactics on it, because the two Chelsea players about to come on, including Ingle, were ready, and the substitution could have been made during that offside, but play continues. But it will be a double substitution for the home side the next time we have a break in play. Pernilla Harder, Chelsea's opening goal scorer from close range, departing. Here is the goal, forcing it through. Amy Turner was on the line, almost blocked it. It may actually have hit the Manchester United defender's hand. Harder off, Sophie Ingle on, that's a defensive change. Bethany England is also introduced as well, having been presented with that accolade earlier for 100 Chelsea appearances. Sam Kerr, the player to depart. 4 opportunities for Kerr to get on the score sheet, unable to take any of them. Excellent runs on each occasion, particularly the 3 in the first half, but not the finish to match, unfortunately, for the Aussie. So now Beth England has a chance to shine late on and maybe kill this game off. And again, without sounding like a broken record, Heath Watch still on the bench, still not warming up. Looking less and less likely that she will be introduced the longer the game goes on. Full programme of matches in the FA WSL. Manchester City big winners earlier, beating Aston Villa by 7-0. Everton with a handsome victory as well over Bristol City by 4-0. As Manchester United can break down the left-hand side, Lauren James looking for another bit of brilliance to try and equalise again for Manchester United. Fierce effort as well. Slightly caught between options because Hansen was at the back post. Tried for that top right-hand corner. The angle, though, was all wrong. But Manchester United again threatening down the left. And having seen what James can do, and of course knowing her talent even before a ball was kicked this afternoon, Emma Hayes will be a little bit disappointed that she was given that much space. Leota was backing off because I think she was expecting James to cut inside, and instead Lauren James chose to take it on her left foot from a tighter angle. Don't forget, all the games available on FA Player, both live, highlights, and you can even watch the full 90 again, all around the world. A number of people, particularly in America, might be waking up late and wish to watch again rather than only see the highlights. Shoulder content available too. Big result coming in between Reading and Arsenal. Reading holding Arsenal to a 1-1 draw, which is an excellent result for both Chelsea and Manchester United. Lauren Bruton scored early for Reading. Vivian Miedema equalised just before half-time. Arsenal suddenly struggling for goals of late, as again, we don't see much movement from Tobin Heath. Casey Stoney's going to have to clarify that situation at full time. Birmingham-Brighton 0-0. And it's half-time between West Ham and Tottenham. Tottenham leading by 1-0. Lucy Quinn, the scorer, 10 minutes before half-time. Leupolz, cheap free kick given away by Grunen. Just clipping the heels from behind. Another Manchester United substitution, Jess Sigsworth coming on. And I think that categorically tells us that Heath is just on the bench for show. And clearly something has happened as Hansen departs, which also explains why she didn't warm up with the team either. May just be a stiff joint or a little niggle. Clearly nothing so serious that there's not a possibility she'll get a few minutes if absolutely urgent. But when you're 2-1 down and you've got a world-class player like Heath and you bring on James and Sigsworth, the other two attacking players on the bench, that would certainly imply that Heath is only there for an absolute emergency. I'm sure that Stoney will say afterwards she is carrying some kind of knock, and was she not, she probably would have started a game of this magnitude as well. Grunen from deep for Manchester United. James now on the right-hand side, Sigsworth ahead of her, the other substitutes. Sigsworth started and scored Manchester United's last game, a 6-1 victory over Bristol City. Guro Wrighton about to be introduced for G, as Chelsea make another substitution. Another defensive change as well, with less than 15 minutes remaining. Huge win this if Chelsea can hold on. They move level on points with Manchester United and they have a game in hand. Emma Hayes already checking her watch. Beth England trying to just loop one over Mary Earps and catch her by surprise. Never really made clean contact. First touch though was excellent, as was the little turn. Just rushed the shot slightly and the ball never came down, and that was why she sliced it. Mjelde couldn't quite link up with anybody on that right-hand side, and then Sigsworth on the counter-attack looking to use her pace. Berger quickly off her line. Aside from the goal, Berger hasn't had too much to do. And the veteran German, now 30 years of age, former PSG keeper and Birmingham City as well, has the foresight just to take the sting out of the game and waste as many seconds as she can. "12 minutes remain. Too early in the season, as both managers have said, to talk about this being definitive as far as the title race is concerned, especially with Arsenal and Manchester City also in it as well. But when Chelsea get ahead, they are very, very difficult to catch. And in the live table now, Chelsea 26, Manchester United 26. Chelsea would go top on goal difference. And to reiterate, they have a game in hand. Chelsea next play Manchester City in the League Cup quarter-final. That's instead of playing Tottenham. That Spurs game postponed. And then Chelsea go away to Bristol City, the bottom side, who are really struggling. Manchester United have home to Birmingham, home to Reading, and then away at Manchester City. Chelsea, incidentally, even if Manchester United equalise, are on course to go 31 unbeaten in the FA WSL. That equals Manchester City's record. Here's Fran Kirby. Cross just floats over the bar. I don't think that was what she intended. Sticks her hand up in apology to confirm that. Everybody in the game so delighted to see Kirby enjoying her football, fully fit and scoring freely. Passionate, aggressive, fast, clinical. And the difference between the two sides with 10 minutes remaining. Sigsworth wins her side a cheap free kick. Eriksson gives it away. So United, out of nowhere, have a set piece. And a chance for Millie Turner to come up. Amy Turner as well, just in your picture momentarily, has also made her way into the box. It's taken quickly down the right-hand side, though, to Lauren James, who should win a corner if that ball spins out. Manchester United now in a hurry, running out of time. James, though, didn't want to take the corner quickly. Grunen on the edge of the area. Galton and Millie Turner at the back post. Amy Turner at the near post. Sigsworth right on the line. In comes the corner, deep to the back post, just over the head of Millie Turner. It's punched clear by Berger. Picked up by Grunen. Galton, no real options, well policed by Bright. Galton does get across to the near post. And the Elder felt like she had to deal with that, probably wise, even though maybe Berger could have fallen on the ball. It was an under-hit cross, but in a dangerous area across the 6-yard box. And United mounting a bit of pressure now with another corner, this time from the near left-hand side. Towards the back post, Millie Turner again was the target. Grunen won't get onto that. Everyone back for Chelsea. And Kirsty Smith will pick this ball up with plenty of time. Chooses instead to go back to Earps rather than move forwards over the halfway line. And as a result, Chelsea can take their shape. Well, as you can see, Tobin Heath not wearing boots. And that's why the camera team have panned up to show those soft trainers. Which confirms something we've been saying all game, which is Heath is clearly not quite fit enough or carrying some kind of knock, stopping her from arguably starting, but certainly featuring with Manchester United 2-1 down. No signs of warming up, didn't warm up with the side before the game, but is on the bench for seemingly emergency purposes. As Ladd is fouled by Leupolz, who's had a couple of those challenges now and maybe is a bit fortunate because they all add up not to go into the book. James back on that left-hand side, having filtered over to the right a moment ago. No real options. Chelsea are pressing really well. And that will be a free kick to the champions, who, of course, won last season under very unusual circumstances due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Manchester City were top of the table, but Chelsea had a game in hand and ended up winning the championship on points per game. Eriksson trying to pick out Cuthbert. That's overhit though. Every time we see Emma Hayes, she's looking at the watch, which means she's either got to get a bus home or she's starting to realise her side are almost over the line. Chelsea so strong at Kings Meadow, but this was a big, big test. Millie Turner shows excellent composure to nudge that with her head back to Earps under a little bit of pressure. Chelsea, who have got Champions League football to think about as well. They beat Benfica comfortably over 2 legs. So the games are coming thick and fast for Emma Hayes' side. Manchester United have certainly got a less congested fixture calendar. They're out of the FA Women's League Cup. And not in the Champions League either. Space now starting to develop as Manchester United susceptible on the counter-attack because they're pushing forwards for that equaliser. Cuthbert, Mielder. Cuthbert once more. Hassled by 3 United players, able to find Bright. Home side keeping possession, managing the game at the moment, and Kirby's going to keep this in, but a flag goes up and she's offside. Pernilla Harder, who's since gone off, got the opening goal of the game. Lauren James equalised with a wonderful curling finish. Fran Kirby, though, with a fantastically timed run and clinical finish, currently is taking Chelsea top of the FA WSL in an excellent spectacle. It's a match between the top 2 that has very much lived up to expectations. United may be disappointed with the amount of attacking chances they've created, but they're up against a really strong defensive side away from home. So you can understand why at times they've been a bit more conservative. Here's Fran Kirby, looking for a second goal or potentially a teammate. It will be laid off to Sophie Ingle. Ingle just trying to curl it into the far corner as Berger is down. So this is of concern to Chelsea. Carly Telford is on the bench, their reserve keeper. Might just be a bit of cramp. I think Ingle, though, with that chance before, was just a little bit hesitant as to whether to put her foot through it or curl it. She just tried to guide it using the pace of the pass into the far left-hand corner. It was well wide in the end. Berger receiving treatment to the right ankle. Doesn't appear to be cramp based on the treatment she's receiving. Manchester City beat Aston Villa 7-0 early. You can watch those highlights very shortly on FA Player. The full match is available as well. Everton beat Bristol City 4-0. Bit of a surprise, Arsenal failed to win at Reading. Reading are having a decent season though, 1-1. Birmingham Brighton 0-0. Spurs still ahead away at West Ham by 1-0. And here at Kingsmeadow, with a couple of minutes plus now some extended added time due to this injury to Berger, Chelsea lead Manchester United 2-1. There's the goal from Kirby. Made it look easy, but she was running at pace. She had the on-rushing keeper, knew exactly what she wanted to do. Big goal, even at the halfway stage of the season, in terms of the title race, which has 4 horses at the moment. But 2 of them that we are seeing this afternoon fast becoming the favourites, with Manchester City, even though they are free scoring, a little bit inconsistent at times. The Chelsea win, though, does at least help Manchester City, because it means that the gap can't be either 27 or 29 points compared to 21. It's 26 at the top and City on 21, and City have, as I said earlier, in February, got to play Manchester United at home. Kirsty Smith as we start 4 minutes of added time. Eriksson half clears. Ball just bounces, though, to Kirby. Manchester United couldn't get to it first, and Chelsea can just alleviate any danger and force United, if they are going to find an equaliser, to do so from very, very deep. Chelsea have been superb. Not much Emma Hayes' side could have done about James's finish, but they snuffed out any danger. They policed press well in the first half. Toon has looked a bit more lively when she's been able to link up with James. Sigsworth, the substitute, who can't get to the ball there, hasn't been able to create a chance either. The only thing that may disappoint Emma Hayes, although it won't matter if they win it, is some of the missed chances in the first half by Sam Kerr. This has been a performance of champions against a new contender in the FA WSL. Manchester United have shown enough despite defeat to suggest that they can match the bigger teams, as they did in that 2-2 draw against Manchester City as well. It's a tight league. Guro Wrighton will just nudge Amy Turner in the back, and Manchester United, with 2 minutes remaining, can launch the ball forwards, but they're going to have to get a move on now. And that ball is going to bounce a bit awkwardly and go harmlessly out of play. Lauren James cutting a frustrated figure because she'd made an intrepid run down that left-hand side, but the ball was too strong and the bounce wasn't kind. And Chelsea in absolutely no hurry as Mielda down the line with the throw-in. England trying to get a foot on the ball. Kirby happy just to take this into the corner. Final 60 seconds. Chelsea in control. Is there to be one last twist? England, Kirby. Again, she'll just keep it in the corner. Brilliant control. James and Kirsty Smith trying to prod it away from her. Kirby, definitely a contender for Woman of the Match. 4 minutes are almost up. Rebecca Welsh looking at her watch. But Manchester United will have one final free kick. They're going to have to get a move on because the 4 minutes are up. Late yellow card here as well to Guro Wrighton. Is there time even for this free kick? Injury time upon injury time. Manchester United are going to have to go route one. Earps to take it, everyone else pushing forward. Can Manchester United snatch an equaliser? This their final opportunity, almost bounces for Sigsworth. And Katrine Berger gathers the ball, and Chelsea beat Manchester United in a huge win by 2-1. Excellent spectacle. Pernilla Harder with the opener, forcing it in from close range. Lauren James with a sensational equaliser, curled into the far corner, having come on from the bench. But moments later, Fran Kirby timed her run and at pace dinked it over Mary Earps for one of the biggest goals she's scored this season. Kirby's in form, she's smiling, and Chelsea are back at the top of the FA WSL table on goal difference. Full time from Kingsmeadow, and it's a champion's performance by Chelsea. They've knocked Manchester United off the top of the table. Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1.